Your drawings won't sell. If you have time for that, get a part-time job, Liam declared, tearing up the tickets to my art show before my eyes. As the torn pieces fluttered to the ground, tears welled up in my eyes. The dream I had nurtured since childhood, finally realized in my own art exhibition, was consistently belittled by both Liam and my in-laws whenever I picked up a pencil. Despite the constant criticism, I persisted. I juggled household chores and the care of our daughter Lucy, never neglecting my responsibilities. I refrained from criticizing Liam's hobbies, but this blatant disrespect was too much to bear. I decided I wouldn't forgive Liam. It was time to live life on my terms, without allowing anyone to dictate or complain. Picking up the torn tickets, I locked eyes with Liam. I'm Emma, 35 years old, married to Liam since I was 22. Lucy, our only daughter, just started elementary school. As a mother, seeing her adapt to school life brings me some peace of mind. After seeing Liam and Lucy off and completing household chores, I settle at my desk. Working as a freelance illustrator, my clients range from individuals to corporations. Despite steady commissions, my family has never acknowledged the value of my work. We reside in a second-hand house with my in-laws, who contribute nothing to household chores and only complain about my cooking and drawing, labeling me as useless. Their belief that drawings can't make money persists, despite my explanations. They suggest I give them money from the Social Security checks they receive, claiming it's proof of their past hard work. I proposed living separately, but Liam always defends his parents, making me the villain. Lucy adores her grandmother, who spends her money on toys for her. Lucy compares me unfavorably, believing her grandma would never say no. When I intervene, Lucy accuses me of being mean, causing public scenes. One night, after Liam scolded me for making Lucy cry, he decided that he and his mother would take care of her. This commitment lasted only 3 days before I was once again tasked with Lucy's care. Despite the challenges, my art thrived. Receiving an email invitation for a solo exhibition, I embraced the recognition from clients who appreciated my work. Working tirelessly into the night, I created new pieces for the upcoming exhibition. Despite my family's indifference, the thought of showcasing my art to a wider audience fueled my determination. Facing a dilemma about inviting Liam to the exhibition, I approached him during a baseball game he was engrossed in. His response dashed my hopes as he revealed plans to hang out with friends on the day of my exhibition. "Oh, can't you spare a little time?" I pleaded. "My artwork's been recognized, and I have a solo exhibition coming up. I was hoping you'd come see it." Liam remained fixated on the TV, silent. Desperation edged my voice as I repeated, "It's my first solo show. Some of my regulars even helped plan it. And I've got some new pieces on display." "What the hell are you talking about?" Liam finally looked at me, disdain in his eyes. "Don't drag me into your little hobby. It's not a hobby. Some of the displayed artwork might even sell. Who the hell's gonna buy your drawings? If you've got time for that, why don't you just get a part-time job?" Liam shouted, snatching the ticket from my hand. He tore it up, and the torn pieces scattered at our feet. Staring at the fragments in shock, tears welled up. Picking up the pieces, it became clear Liam would never understand my profession. I never belittled his hobbies, yet he never allowed me the same freedom. "I've had enough," I glared at him. "I can't take it anymore," I declared, venting my feelings. The words solidified my resolve. I'm gonna break up with Liam. To be honest, the thought of divorce had always been on my mind. I've already got a contact number for a lawyer who assists in the divorce process. But every time I considered it, Lucy crossed my mind. Our child needs both parents. Moreover, if I left, Lucy would have to transfer schools. That's what I'd endured all this time. But that ends today. Ignoring Liam's calls, I returned to my room. Packing my things, I confirmed the lawyer's business card was there. Heading to Lucy's room, I found her doing her homework at her desk. "Mom, I'm sorry," Lucy said. Looking at her face, guilt washed over me. I hugged her, and Lucy looked puzzled. Lucy, I've decided to leave this house. What? The innocence vanished from Lucy's face. Although guilty, I continued. What do you want to do, Lucy? Stay here with Dad or come with me? Expecting her to choose her grandma, Lucy surprised me. I want to be with you, Mom. Lucy, I love the paintings you make, I said, and Lucy laughed. She smiled shyly and pointed at her desk. Just trying to be like you. I want to be a good artist too. No, you're already good. You'll surpass me soon. Tears filled my eyes. Lucy was drawing a young girl standing in a flower field, a theme I often drew. Leaving a note and the lawyer's business card on the dining table, Lucy and I headed to my parents' place. They welcomed us without hesitation, aware of the situation. It must have been tough with Liam behaving like that, Emma, my mother said. Yeah. Before I could catch my breath, my cell phone rang. It was Liam, seething with fury on the other end. Emma, where's Lucy? She's with me. She decided to stay with me at my parents' place. If we're going through with a divorce, we'll need to discuss Lucy's arrangements. Though I aimed to shield Lucy from confusion, I yearned to seek support from my parents before navigating the divorce process. Surprisingly, Lucy opted to accompany me. Dad, do you want to talk? Yes. I handed the phone to Lucy, and Liam's tone softened instantly. Lucy, are you okay? Yeah, Dad. I'm sorry, but I want to be with Mom. Why would you say that? Staying with her will make you unhappy. Come back home. Dad, that's not true. Lucy replied calmly, revealing a surprising maturity. Mom tried her best all the time. I've seen it. But you and Grandma kept saying hurtful things about her paintings. I'm worried about Mom. That's why I want to stay with her. With that, Lucy ended the call and gave me a bashful smile. I patted her head. Although it seemed we had no allies in that house, Lucy had been watching. In the following days, Liam bombarded my parents' home with calls and letters, all demanding Lucy's return. It's okay. Everything will be all right. Yeah, thanks, Mom. I continued my work as an illustrator, maintaining a calm demeanor while working from my parents' place. Unlike my in-laws, my parents contributed to household chores, and we supported each other. Naturally, I spent more time with Lucy. She asked me to teach her how to draw and help her with her studies, and I always responded with a smile. Alongside household chores, my art also demanded my attention. Still, I never mistreated Lucy, who had chosen to stay with me. As the day of my solo exhibition approached, my father couldn't attend due to work, but I decided to take my mother and Lucy. Then, one day, a knock echoed at my parents' front door. Lucy eagerly ran to answer it, but halted abruptly, returning to me in a frightened voice, Mom, Dad's here. I had anticipated Liam might show up in person eventually. I took a deep breath. I had no intention of letting him in or even opening the door. I planned to send him away immediately. What do you want? I tried to sound as cold as possible. To my surprise, Liam's reply was, Emma, please come back. I was wrong. What are you trying to do? I asked. His sincerity seemed genuine. In a weak voice, Liam continued, My parents aren't doing anything. They're just eating fast food, and the laundry's been piling up since the day you left. It seemed my expectations were coming true. With Liam out for work most of the time, this situation must be challenging for him. Wearing wrinkled clothes repeatedly and unable to maintain a tidy appearance, finding new jobs was likely difficult. The house was descending into chaos. Please help me out. I wasn't doing anything in that house either, right? I let out a sigh. Your mother said I was a wife who didn't even do housework. You agreed so too. I was wrong. My mom claimed she was doing all the housework, and I believed her. I was fooled. He spoke as if he were a victim, despite joining my mother-in-law in bad-mouthing me. Don't you have any intention to do housework yourself? I've never even held a knife, and I don't know how to use the washing machine. That doesn't mean you can rely on me. Essentially, he wanted me to return and handle the piled-up chores. What a joke. I'm never going back to that house. The day I left, I let go of all my feelings for Liam. There's no way I'm going to feel sorry for him now. I'm not your maid. Isn't it a wife's duty to do housework? Liam's tone became harsh. Beyond exasperation, I calmly responded, I don't want to be your wife anymore. Every morning, I rose early to prepare your lunch, yet never received a word of gratitude from you. There were days when the disappointment cut deeper upon seeing the untouched lunch. I diligently hung the laundry and ironed them to perfection, striving for a wrinkle-free result. Do you understand? I've been carrying out these chores 365 days a year, without a single thank you. So what's your point? Isn't that what wives are supposed to do? If there had been gratitude, we could have been a normal couple. I feel more strongly now that we'll never truly understand each other. Liam didn't get it, and he didn't want to. He was just temporarily down on his luck. Deep down, he hasn't changed. I'm going to live on my own strength. You should try hard on your own too. Hey, Emma. Liam continued, but I ignored him and returned to the living room. Despite Liam banging on the door, he eventually seemed to give up and left. My exhibition turned out to be reasonably successful. Walking around the venue hand in hand with Lucy, my mother beside us, she pointed to a visitor and remarked, Isn't that Liam? Ha! I was taken aback. Facing Liam directly would be awkward, and it might bother Lucy. With these thoughts, I observed the visitor's face. He wore his hat low, but it was unmistakably Liam. Mom, watch Lucy for me. All right. I left Lucy with my mother and approached Liam, speaking quietly to avoid disturbing others. What are you doing here? Have you really made painting your job? His tone lacked spirit, and his clothes appeared wrinkled and unkempt. Liam's eyes briefly met mine. But you're not selling any, right? Look over there. I pointed to a certain corner of the venue. The painting on the wall is a new piece. Below it, it shows sold. That painting's already been snagged by a private collector, and it has a price tag. Want to know how much? No, I'm good. Liam took a step back, looking startled. The sight of my artwork being sold seemed to shock him. Excuse me, do you have a moment? A local newspaper reporter approached, expressing their intent to feature the exhibition in an upcoming article, along with an interview. For freelancers, networking is crucial, and this was a welcome opportunity. Liam's eyes widened. You're really making it big, aren't you? Well, let's just say I make more than you do, I replied matter-of-factly. Liam looked flustered, letting out a groan. He seemed to grasp the reality that our incomes were just enough to get by, and his parents' social security checks weren't the financial cushion they believed them to be. Emma, you're really something. What are you talking about now? I walked away from Liam, but he followed closely. Emma, let's start over. Paint as much as you want. I'll help with the chores. Please come back. I didn't respond. His plea felt too self-serving, leaving me dumbfounded. Then I noticed someone watching, a ragged-looking couple. It was Liam's parents. Standing in front of my sold painting, their eyes darted between the sold sign and me. They didn't even glance at the artwork. They were simply astonished that my paintings could turn into cash. Liam, how did you get in without the ticket? When I told them I'm the husband of the illustrator, they let me in. You mean ex-husband? I corrected, irritation evident. By tearing up the ticket, Liam had severed any benefits from my artwork. Now he had no choice but to rely on his income and the meager social security his parents boasted about. Excuse me, this artwork is wonderful. Thank you. Another customer complimented, leading to another painting being sold. Liam and his parents stood there, visibly stunned. From the next day, relentless calls from Liam flooded in. Dad, what the heck happened? I wonder what should we do? His attempts to reconcile were unprecedented. After some thought, I reported Liam to the police as a stalker. Despite receiving a warning, Liam persisted with his calls and stalking, resulting in police custody. Me? A stalker? You gotta be kidding. I'm her husband. That was his futile argument, considering we were already divorced. His parents, embarrassed and feeling the judgmental gaze of their neighbors, distanced themselves from Liam as if fleeing. Regardless of where they went, rumors followed. My family never approved of my job. That must have been tough, I shared during an interview. I'd opened up about the agony of not receiving recognition for my work from Liam and his parents. The headline in the local paper read, "Rising Star Creator, a Tragic Heroine." Despite adversity, she continued drawing. Looking at the article, it felt as though it was about someone else. Being labeled a tragic heroine wasn't as glamorous as it sounded. It was indeed challenging. However, things had changed for the better. I now had my daughter, my parents, and fans who appreciated my work. Liam, the very thing you rejected, had this much power. Thanks to the feature in the local paper, my reputation as an author improved. I started receiving more work and could support my daughter on my income alone. Staying at my parents' house felt uncomfortable, so I rented an apartment near my daughter's school. My parents seemed disappointed, offering, "You can always stay with us. You've been through a lot in that house." "Thanks, but it's my life," I said, reminding myself not to rely on others, a lesson taught by Liam and his parents. I'm going to take that lesson to heart. One day, my daughter brought a friend home from school. Adjusting well after transferring, despite the inconveniences caused by my circumstances, she proudly introduced me. "My mother's an artist." "That's so cool." Since moving, my daughter sounded more mature. She switched from calling me mom to mother and began practicing drawing more seriously. Previously, she doodled random drawings, but now she showed interest in the tools I used for work and spent more time watching me. "I'm going to be like you, mother." "Really? That makes me happy. Want to try using this pen?" "Really?" She blushed with excitement, reminding me of the joy I felt when I got new art supplies. Like mother, like daughter. At first, Lucy couldn't draw a straight line. Every attempt resulted in warped lines, creating a jumbled mess. However, after many tries, Lucy's drawings started to resemble actual pictures, and her use of paints and colored pencils showed promise. Apparently, she was one of the best artists in her class. "Look at this," the teacher complimented her drawing. "Really? Let me see." I was truly amazed. Witnessing my daughter's growth made me incredibly proud. I had only taught Lucy the basics, breaking down the human body into sections for easier drawing and explaining the relationship between light and shadow. Beyond that, she must have learned by watching me work or studying my finished paintings. Lucy might be even more talented than me, and I honestly believed it. Lucy gave a shy smile, expressing her determination. I'm going to keep on drawing for Lucy, for my fans, and most importantly, for myself, who never gave up on art no matter the circumstances.